With AI everywhere, AI now gets into the realm of combat sports, as a fourth judge will be AI-oriented in the Usyk-Fury rematch. Well, look who we have here, Coach Diz.
What up? What up? What up?
What's up, Coach?
Nothing. What's going on?
Nothing. I called you yesterday when I heard the news of AI now taking over in almost every asset of our lives, is now going to invade boxing for the first time, where it's AI judging. This is something that actually you talked to Kevin Ioli about doing the rankings, the pound for pound rankings. And maybe that's down the pipe here.
Yeah.
But I want to talk about this because it seems like now there is a program out there called Jabber, Jabbr.
Okay.
That's been around for a little bit.
That's not the one they're using, though, right?
I don't know. The one I think they're using is proprietary from Turkey Al Sheikh's company, the Ring Magazine.
Okay.
I think that's what they're using. I'm not sure. I'd have to ask Kevin about that or do a little research. But this is going to be very controversial, and I'll tell you why. I think this is going to eliminate some things, but bring upon some other things that might not be the best. So let me do a couple things first. Let me ask you, as a trainer, number one, do you like, when a fight's over, do you prefer there to be open scoring or close scoring?
Oh, that's a tough one. But I think open.
You like open scoring?
I like open. So there's pros and cons with it.
Oh no, why do you like open scoring?
Because for me, not for my fighter. For me, if there was a way that the trainer can know instead of the fighter, that's different. Because then I know where to adjust it, and I know, with the trainer, you should know how the fight's going on already. So you would know if you need a knockout or stuff like that. But there's those matches where it's like, here, a round off, and with human judging, they might lean it toward the other person. So it's a tough one, man. I mean, for me, I would like it for me and my quarter, not for my fighter.
Yeah, but I think that'd be kind of hard because I think eventually if you're down by a few, you're going to tell them, hey, you're down. So they're going to know whether or not sometimes maybe trainers over-exaggerate to make them think that they have to do a lot more than they do. Maybe that could be an issue. But let's get into the open scoring. Let's get into what we feel is going to happen here. Give me what you think would be the pros of having an AI judging system.
Well, it takes out human emotions. That's the one thing that comes right off the bat. Human emotions is off. The betting, sometimes betting, with human emotions.
Oh, I never thought of that. Figures you'd bring that up.
What was that?
Figures you'd bring that up.
Yeah, so that's the one thing that, money can't, throw this fight for a couple million. That's out. That's out. If it's a emotion with the AI with judging. Then, the consistency, of every fight's going to be consistent across the board of what the scoring judges are going to, what this AI is looking for.
Okay. So now let me ask you this. So if, let's say, for example, the system leans more towards more punches in volume, because I don't know how they're going to effectively measure.
I think that's going to come in time because, the content has to get there. It has to build itself up. So maybe after like 3 or 4 fights of doing the AI, then the computer starts kicking in. And that's when it's going to be.
They're doing it that this AI judge is going to be the 4th judge. So they're kind of using it as a kind of
a testing,
a prototype of this is what it's going to look like. But as a trainer, wouldn't I be able to look at something as if they judge, like you'll have a Pernell Whitaker fighter against a guy like a Felix Trinidad fighter. Pernell Whitaker is more, if you look at the criteria of boxing, there's clean punches, effective aggressiveness, there is ring generalship and defense. Yep. Now, defense, Whitaker falls under punches, clean punches and hard punches lands for Trinidad. And so you're going to get 2 different ways. So wouldn't you have to adjust now to what the AI system is, and the AI system is going to be programmed by humans, from what I gather.
I don't.
It makes it more difficult.
That's way out of my league. If how that's programmed.
No, that's how it has to be programmed by. It has to be programmed by humans. They have to tell it what to do.
But then it starts teaching itself. It starts.
What was that? See, I don't know if you can do that. I don't know if you can effectively do that.
With George, with AI, man, there's so much stuff that they can do now. There's so much stuff. I mean, even with the drones, you know, that a lot of that stuff, you know, there's a lot of stuff you can do with AI. Like I know Google's talking about they might have this computer, the new computer chip. You see that?
No.
It's like if a math problem that would take 10 trillion quadrillion years, this will take it in 15 minutes.
And this is a new chip coming out?
It's Google. Just search it right now. Google just announced it. It said this is the next best computer. And I mean, it's stuff that it's so advanced that, you know, not
so go back to your pros. Your pros being
consistency, database, real feedback right there, that where you can talk, you know, we can see, okay, this is the real feedback. That's who's winning right now. You know, instead of, you know, oh, this person that round 2 was him. No, real feedback live, and transparency. That's one of the main things. Transparency. You see everything what's going on.
But wouldn't you think boxing being so subjective, it's difficult because I know you take out the human emotion. The problem with boxing has always been there's no definitive score. There's not a 5-4. It's always been, you know, subjective to what you feel. How do you program something that makes it look that there's no, because I know there's times where I've gotten hit and it didn't feel like anything. It just felt like, oh, and everyone's like, wow, you really got rocked. I'm like, I didn't feel it. So again, you're saying it's going to advance forward at some point where it gets a little bit better, but is it good enough that it's going to be able to score the amount of the impact of the punches and the impact of what it has on that person? Kind of like a video game, like a power meter.
Yeah.
Do you think we'll get to that point?
Oh yeah. I think it's coming soon. I would say within the next 10 years, that's coming. You know, I just think that with AI, we really don't know how much, like for instance, George, you work with AI all the time, right? Isn't it easier the first time you started doing it, and then now it's easier, and everything that what you're looking at comes up right away,
right?
You know, like, oh, damn, it's learning, it's teaching itself with what you search and stuff like that. So I do think that it's going to take a little tweaking a little bit, but I do think this is the best way, where the main thing is human emotions. That's the main thing. I think that's the top of everything. Human emotions gets out of it, you know. Now again, some of the, you know, old fighters. Go ahead.
What about the cons though? You've said a lot of pros.
That's what I was going to say. One of the main things I would say is, you know, boxing's an old school sport. They like humans involved in it, you know. So that's one of the things that I'm gonna, you know, it's gonna be hard for them to change towards that. The older people. Then you got what happens if it crashes during a fight? Then what are you gonna go back to? You're gonna go back to like what is it? Downtime planning and stuff that we have at work. Downtime planning. You have to take out papers and pens and start. You know, so that's another thing. What about electricity? Power goes out. You know, that's some of that stuff.
Yeah, I think in general, it is positive. I think there's a more positive than a negative feedback that I've been getting anyway. But I do feel that we're moving so fast to a point where it could just be robots fighting each other, where you're programming a robot to fight another robot.
Look at Tyson versus who was that? Roy Jones versus the one guy. It was like 3D, right? Wasn't it? You put the glasses on and stuff.
Oh, I didn't see that.
It was like during COVID.
Oh. Well, that explains it, because we just kind of zoomed past that. I think AI is better suited for baseball and football, because I think the strike zone can be, this is where it is, and it would change on different people. So like, because if you're an umpire and you're looking at,
telling me that's not going to change with body frames too?
Well, no, I think, no, I'm saying for boxing, like something that would hurt a normal person doesn't hurt this guy as much. You know what I mean? Like the strike zone is what it is. It's from here to your knees, right? So your shoulders to your knees, in between there, and the plate is where it is. Now they kind of have that now, but they don't let the computer generate the computer's not going to generate the balls and strikes and call it. They let the umpire do it, and they blast the umpire. That's one of the reasons why I thought that was going to come in sooner than later in baseball. But I also think the calls, like the bang bang plays at first base, that's good for AI. Is good for that. I think it's like, okay, you legitimately won. But the other things, I think why boxing, I think because how bad boxing's been judging wise, that's why it's forced to be that way. I think how bad the balls and strikes have been in baseball, that's why they're going to put that in. The football, that's a tough one too, where what is pass interference, what is not pass interference, what is holding, what's false start, what's not false start. We're getting away from the human element of sport that drove this multi-billion-dollar industry forward. I don't know how effective. I'll put the way I retract that. I know it'll be very effective, but does it ruin the sporting experience? What do you think?
Yeah, I think if you use AI in a way to, for instance, like to help you train and stuff, that's good. You know, that's going to be good about it, and people will accept that. But when it comes to, you know, making the actual fight and the actual like winner and stuff, there's going to still be sometimes people are like, oh, I hate this, I hate this, and I hate this. I just think it's just where we got to go, man. It's just where we got to go.
People don't like change.
No, and that's the thing. That's the thing. They don't like change.
And I see this happening sooner than later. If this is successful, if it's a disaster, and I think it's going to get a lot of blowback at first.
Yeah,
I think people aren't going to like it.
The first thing I have to say, I don't know how AI will judge how hard a person punches. Now I know in that like the science, that ESPN thing, they can, you know, put little, I don't know, what is it, great measurements on their shoulders and see how hard they punch. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
That science. So I don't know how AI will do that without them on, you know, those little measurements on the person's body or the clothing. But eventually it might be a beam going into the body and, oh, that hurt. That it turned red. You know, like the ESPN does.
Yeah.
So when they're getting punched, the red body turns red on the app. So I think I could see that working.
I just think that not that I would be uninterested in boxing and stuff like that and MMA. I just don't know if it takes that human element and that experience out of it, because it just seems like it's a definitive answer. Now I'll tell you where they do need AI. In these high school games and the little league games, where they could say, this is what the call was, that's it. Because I think that's coming, because there's gonna be such a lack of officials, and I think that's coming first. Well, not coming first because they wouldn't have the money for it, but that's the one that they're going to really lean on to do, because there's no way anybody's going to be put up with that crap.
So let me ask you, would you rather be in stadium first floor or be home and watch it?
It depends on how I'm feeling. Like when I go
because
to an event,
AI is already taking them out of that.
What?
Because you see those new bars down in Texas and stuff where you could actually be on the field because of the camera, but you're in the restaurant with all those
Get out of here.
You never saw that?
No, I never saw that.
I don't watch all over the place. There was a football game. You're actually in the end zone sitting, like you have front row seats.
Well, that would be weird for me, but I guess because the kids, they would get into that. I just couldn't. When I get tickets, I want to be like right up in front. I want to be right there. Else I don't do it because I'm too short. You know what I mean? Yeah, the people stand up, so I don't do it. If I'm not in that first row or two, I'm not getting the tickets. So not that I go to these events all the time. I don't. If I go, I'm going to get the front row, front or second row. That's it. I would rather be in the stadium if I get in the front, but otherwise I want to watch at home. And is the home experience is good? Yeah, because I don't have Bozo being drunk next to me. I have who I want to be next to me, and that's it. I don't have anybody else I don't want around me. That's the only thing. If I want to go out, I could see kids getting into it and involved in the bar experience where you're on the field. I could see that. Me, no. I want to be out there watching it. And I think that's also the same thing with boxing. Boxing is very, the experience of UFC. is crazy.
Yeah.
Going there, the experience. Dana White always says the experience is great. Way different than watching four stories up to watching little ants run around a football field. It's a lot different. Yes, the fans are great, but most of them are drunk.
Yep.
And it's not, for me, that wouldn't be a good experience. I would stay home for that. I'd stay home for that because I don't want to. But is it going to be that good? Is it going to be that good that the experience shows you, wow, these things are so realistic? I haven't seen that yet. Evidently you have.
Yeah. It's all over. It's all over the place. I'm surprised. Just like those. Remember, it was probably about a year ago. We were talking about the Google glasses where you can have different screens and stuff.
Yeah, that kind of died off a little bit.
I think because there was a lot of stuff that was messed up with it. But give it a couple of years. Like it's a good thing. It's a good thing that they're putting this judge, the AI judge, as the fourth judge, just to see. Then maybe later on they'll get two more AI judges, and then we'll keep on going.
Do you think Turkey Al-Sheikh is good or bad for boxing?
Right now, he's the only person that's making big fights, but eventually that's going to die. It's going to be bad for boxing.
Because the way I thought of it was when this fight Saturday, are you as excited about this fight?
Not like the first time.
No, but not only that, having it in Vegas or having it in the States, it's just different. It's a different atmosphere, a different crowd. I don't know if he's
what
so
time
good.
Is the card on a certain time in the daytime?
I think it's on the afternoon again. It's on about 11 o'clock in the morning. And then
that's good. I like that.
But the main event don't go on till 8 o'clock or 7 o'clock. What's the difference?
Yeah, I know.
It's just these shows in Saudi I don't like. There's way too many people involved. There's way too many. It's a show. It's okay, I guess. I guess I'd like it. But I don't like the other stuff. I just don't like. I don't like the fact that I have to sit there and wait 5 hours for the main event.
And you have
5 hours
concert in between each fight.
It's just stupid. And then you have 10 commentators answering the same question that they've answered 10 times. Who's going to win? What does he have to do? And it's not HBO boxing was the best. I wish they could come back with something similar to that. It's just the money's not there in the States. You got like Tank Davis sitting here saying he's going to retire after this. I don't know. He has enough money because I guess Turkey Al-Sheikh has paid that kind of money to these guys. But boxing used to be.
He didn't pay Tank.
Supposedly he's getting a deal he's getting a deal to fight. He's gonna have a 1-fight deal, 30 million bucks.
What do you think? Who do you think he would fight?
He ain't fighting anybody good. I mean, look who he's fighting next. Lamont Roach. Roach ain't gonna do anything. Roach will get knocked out in about 5 rounds.
Yep.
That's not. But how are you gonna pay that guy $20 million for that? Because Turkey Al-Sheikh will do it. If not, Al Heyman, and Al Heyman knows that.
Well, he wouldn't pay that much.
No. I know what I'm saying. He's going to pay him what is accessible in the United States.
Yep.
That's it.
Yep.
Because in the United States, you have to be a business. Over in Saudi Arabia, you don't got to be a business. You just got to put on a show for people to make them happy. They have countless amounts of money, and it's endless. It keeps going on and on. That actually would probably get old.
Yeah, that's what it's going to get old. It's going to come on. It's going to be like, all right, come on. Here we go. Even for a boxer, I got to travel all the way to Saudi Arabia.
I know.
My whole time thing is messed up. My family coming over.
It's just I don't know. Everyone was so excited about it, and I get it that he's going to try to do shows here in the United States.
He's done one show, right? L.A.
It was a disaster. It was a disaster. They claimed that it was all sold out.
And I also think this too, and I don't know, maybe you can, but in Saudi Arabia, if he puts on the show, I think the people are more feared by their fear of him, so that's why they go.
Yeah, but I also think they don't have skin in the game. You know what I mean? Like, to your point, like they're not invested in Terrence Crawford fighting some bozo. They're not. They're not invested in Ford fighting Ball. They're not. They're invested in showing up at this event. Here in the States, they're invested in it. Look at the difference between when Tyson got knocked out by Douglas and when Tyson got knocked out by Holyfield. When Tyson got knocked out from Douglas in Japan, quiet. Nobody said anything. When Holyfield knocked out Tyson here in Vegas, it was bedlam. It was crazy. So there's a big difference there for us as fight fans.
American.
Yeah, very different. It wasn't what we expected. So I don't know if that hurts boxing in the long run, where he's putting some good things into play. The AI thing, I think, is a long way off. I mean, I think they're trying to push it because AI is all the rage right now.
Oh yeah.
So trying to push.
They are trying to. It's everywhere. So I mean, you got to utilize it if it's out there. But I don't know if he's the right person to do it. Like if you have like Elon Musk and Bezos involved doing something, then maybe just see. But I just don't know. Just don't know.
I think also too the culture barrier it affects everybody. It's weird that he holds everybody's hand when he's walking to the ring. It's weird. That's very strange. He's holding Dana White's hand going to the ring. It's weird. I don't know. Del Hoy's
not our
hand.
culture, man.
No, it's not. And I don't know what that means or whatever, but it's just weird to me. Like I don't know. Maybe we're just not used to the promoters holding hands with managers and stuff. I don't know.
Yeah.
But let's turn our attention to the fight Saturday night. It'll be on Saturday night. Trust me.
Yeah.
They say it'll be on Saturday night. It'll be in the evening at least. Tyson Fury, Alexander Usyk, part 2. First one, Usyk wins a unanimous decision. First 5 rounds, I thought Tyson Fury had it for most of the fight there pretty easily, but he's goofing around, gets caught with a right left hook, like an overhand right left hook. Usyk's a lefty, which was a weird punch they got caught with out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And that put him on roller skates. From that point on, the fight changed.
It did.
Let's go to this fight now. There's 2 factors that I said in this video that I put out. Number 1, I want to see if Tyson Fury is going to be in shape. If Tyson Fury is in shape, this will be a better fight for Tyson Fury. But it'll also show that he's taking it seriously and he may have a couple more years left. If he is not in shape, I think Tyson gets beat, and I think this is the end of his road because he was looking to retire anyway.
Yeah.
But the other factor is this is Tyson Fury's first loss. Alexander Usyk has yet to lose, doesn't know how to lose on the professional level, has been the cruiserweight champion undisputed, been the heavyweight championship undisputed. That's a big task to overcome because he has now all the momentum.
Yep.
Where do you feel this fight lands on Saturday?
I think it needs to go to the first 5 rounds of the first fight, and Tyson needs to use his footwork and the jab, and stop going back on the ropes. I know we were watching. Why is he going on the ropes?
Yeah, on the ropes. I couldn't figure that one out.
And then I know you were like, oh, he's doing a rope-a-dope, and people were saying he's doing a rope-a-dope, but then he gets caught, and then all hell breaks loose. So he needs to stay in the middle.
That changed everything. Once he got caught, that changed everything.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what, even after that though, Usyk got caught a few times, but he still hung in there and was doing the same thing consistently, which made Tyson not be able to effectively do what he was doing before. And again, Tyson kept going back to the ropes.
Yep.
When Tyson moved forward and was just going to the body a little bit and using that jab, it wasn't close. It wasn't really close.
Nope.
So
that's what I think Tyson has to do. And that's a good point that you said with the in shape and stuff like that. If he's not in shape, he's not going to be going forward. He's going to be going back. He's going to be going to the ropes.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's going to lean on the ropes. If he's not in shape, he'll lean on the ropes because he'll need his legs, and he won't be able to stay in there. That is key to this fight, is if he's in shape mentally, physically, because mentally he's always been wishy-washy. Exactly. But he's always pulled through. So you can't take them. Mentally, though, Usyk,
he's
tough,
Usyk. Yeah,
tough.
Always in shape, always fight ready. And he doesn't know bullshit outside the ring. He does what he has to do, and that's it. I like Usyk. I think he's kind of funny too. I
like Usyk. I just don't get him. So I never thought he was a great fighter.
No.
Until the last 2 years I've seen him. Whoa, what's going on there? Oh, last 2 years I've seen him fight, and he looked great. He looked great, and I said, man, he's looking fantastic. He looks good. He moves well. And then I started looking at his training and how this guy's a good fighter. If he wins Saturday night,
think
about it. He's a guy who go down in history as one of the best to ever do it. Went up from. Do you know he fought Sean Porter at 168 in the amateurs?
Sean Porter.
Sean Porter beat him in the amateurs at 168. Sean Porter.
Wow.
He all the way up to cruiserweight, wins the undisputed championship at cruiserweight, then goes all the way up to heavyweight. Now he's only 223. He is 6'3", and wins the heavyweight undisputed championship. Wow. Think about it. Evander Holyfield did that. Usyk did that.
Wow. Crazy.
He's got to be, if he wins, top 5 of all time. Top 5. Top 5. You got it. The top 5 of all time. Think of his accomplishments of what he's done.
Yeah.
From all, he's got to be considered one of the. He still hadn't lost. He'd be, if he wins 23-0, it goes all the way through. Now, if he knocks out Tyson, holy cow, that pushes him even further into cement in his legacy.
Yeah,
that would be even more. Now, if he does it, that's a risky factor. But Saturday night, what do you see?
I see Tyson Fury winning by split decision.
Really?
Yep.
Huh.
Yep, split decision.
Wow. Well, I'm choosing Tyson also.
Are you?
I'm gonna choose Tyson Fury. But I'll say this with one little asterisk. I want to wait to see the weigh-in to see what exactly is going to happen.
Okay.
If Tyson Fury doesn't look like he's in shape, I would say Usyk would win because the later rounds. Because the Tyson leaning on him, and that didn't work in the first fight because Usyk drug him into the later rounds.
And no, he thought. I mean, I think Tyson also thought that he was so much bigger. He was going to do what he was doing to Deontay Wilder, leaning on it, and Usyk's too smart. He knows what he was doing.
He was slipping under the punches, coming over top. He really used everything in his arsenal at that time to beat Tyson, and he needed to. But this time around, I think he's like everyone's like, well, what's the improvements they're going to make? What's it? Tyson doesn't have to do anything of what he did from round 1 to 5, and just go from 5 to 12. That's it.
Just stay off the ropes.
Stay off the ropes. 1 to 5, and then whatever he does from that 1 to 5 in that first fight, take that fight and go to 12. It's easier said than done.
Yeah,
but he was dominating there. It was pretty good, and he was getting better. Okay, so if he can do that, and I think he will, I really think he's not the guy who's going to fall back. And again, mentally and physically, could be weird. If he doesn't fall back into that trap, I think Fury wins this easier.
Yeah.
I think he does. Okay. Usyk, though, if there's any inclination that Tyson Fury is not in shape, not mentally prepared, I wouldn't be shocked if Usyk knocked him out. Because he had him on roller skates.
He was on more than roller skates, dude.
You know what I noticed too? When he had him against the ropes and he was hitting him with the overhands, if he would have went to the body, I think he would have got him out of there. Because he was so wide open at the body because he was getting hit up top. He didn't know where he was going. And when he got knocked down funny. When he got knocked down the ropes, he looked like Jerry Cooney.
He did.
He was flying. His arms were flailing. And it just was weird how he got hit. And it was a good punch, not a great punch that knocked him senseless.
It was a punch you didn't see, and that's what usually happens.
Yeah, and then he got knocked from pillar to post. I don't think at this point, if Tyson is not ready mentally, he's going to go any further than Saturday night. I think that's it, because there's a lot of stuff that happened in the previous camp. There's stuff that was going on. He says it's all cleaned up now. I don't know.
Yeah, but they denied that he got knocked down.
He did get knocked down. And that's Jai Appetai. But now the difference is Jai Appetai is a big puncher, huge puncher.
But still,
and you get knocked down by him. That's not a knock.
Yeah, that's no shame, but still.
Well, coming up this weekend, Coach Diz and I will be going live at 11:30 Eastern time on Sunday. We're doing the 2024 Zapata Brand Award Show. And joining us will be Kevin Ioli as a special guest. We'll have his picks of the 2024 awards: Fight of the Year, Train of the Year, Fight of the Year, Knockout of the Year. And those four will be put up on my community post. Put your votes in as to who you think they are, so we can use them as a guide to what our picks are. But Coach Diz, are you looking forward to this weekend show?
I wish it wasn't so. I know it's going to be long, so I wish it was just an afternoon. We could just see 2 or 3 fights and then boom, main event. But we know it's going to drag out. I want to see it. The only thing is the length of it, the long commitment we got to put into it during the day. That's going to be kind of hard. But I'll watch it. I'll watch the main event.
Yeah, I'm going to watch the main event too. I think it's one that I think it's going to be a good fight either way. But I think if the way I look at it, if Tyson's in shape, it's going to be easier for him. But still, good fight because you have a guy who's willing to fight like Usyk. He's coming to fight. Tyson Fury, I think, wants to regain it. And if he is in that kind of shape and he feels he's mentally and physically there, this fight could possibly be the fight of the year. So we're going to wait for our picks.
Wow.
Until that Sunday.
Okay.
All right. Coach Diz.
What else going on? Anything else?
What's that?
Anything else going on?
No, it's just busy with baskets and stuff like that. We've been kind of running around here.
Don't exit out on me. Don't exit out on me.
No, I didn't. It's been it's been busy, but I wish boxing would be as active as it is right now, like getting ready to be. There's about 3 or 4 fights coming in the new year.
Mm-hmm.
So, maybe that's gonna jumpstart something here because I mean MMA is like taking over. I mean, between Covington's last fight, you got a bunch of fights coming up. Makhachev coming back into the ring or octagon.
Usman, there's a lot. There's a lot coming on.
Yeah, who's Usman going against? Is he going against who called him out? Buckley. That's right. I thought I saw that. Yep. Yeah. Buckley. Wow, good fight there. That's a good fight. I like to see that. Yeah. Although I think Usman beats him.
I think so too.
Because of the wrestling. Usman's been out for a long time.
Last time he fought was
he lost to the guy Khamzat in 2023.
Yeah. Fight Island.
It was on my birthday, 2023.
October.
Yeah, that was so he hasn't been in the ring in a while, so he's got to figure something out there. Get back in, but his podcast is doing well.
Yeah,
with him and Cejudo doing really well.
How is it called?
I don't know. I go through so many.
It's funny. It's funny, and they have a lot of access to a lot of the fighters. Yeah.
So, have you spoken to Jersey Jay-Z?
I spoke to him last night.
He had the guy on there with the drones.
Yep.
John Ferguson.
He's having Kyle Farnsworth on.
I don't know who that is. I know he's a pitcher. Was a pitcher for the Yankees, but
you've seen him before.
Was he any good?
He was 15 years, in the league.
15.
15. Yeah. He was with the Detroit Tigers. He traded to the Yankees. You should look him up. He had some fights with he had some brawls. So
with who? Teammates?
No, when they were fighting other teams, he would go.
Oh, really?
Him and Strawberry were on the same team going after people. So
Strawberry ain't one to mess around with. Strawberry don't play.
Him and Greg Lloyd, remember that?
Yeah. Oh God.
But that's it. Nothing else.
Yeah, nothing else. We're going to be busy. Well, I got to get those awards out to you to fill out your ballot. I'll fill out mine. I'll give Kevin his. So I'm looking forward to that show. I haven't talked to Kevin on air in a while, but he's been busy with his show. 11:30 Eastern time in the morning.
Yes.
11:30 a.m. Eastern time. Kevin Ioli, Coach Diz, and myself with the 2024 Zapata Brand Podcast.
Will we have an appearance from Jersey?
I will ask him to come on. But he's some. I mean, he don't even know who won the Heisman. I think
Jay-Z. Do you have that picture of Jay-Z at the Heisman?
I don't have that with me right now. I'll put it up. I could probably put it up here. Oh, Jay-Z. Good Lord.
Oh, you guys.
Yeah. All right. Well, Diz, I'm going to get out of here. I got some stuff I got to do. I got to head out of here. I got some Christmas shopping to do a little bit, and then I got a big weekend. So anyway,
see you on Monday. We'll talk about that.
Yes, I'll talk to you on Monday. I'll show you how to do this equipment so you can get on and do your own solo show.
Well, it might burn up.
What?
It might burn up.
In the meantime, don't be envious of what I've accomplished in my life. Be inspired by what you can do in yours. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye, guys.
Thanks for watching the Zapata Brand Podcast. Please subscribe to the podcast and listen where all podcasts are available.